Hello, and welcome to Japanese Craft Beer Reviews. Today we will look at a beer which comes from a brewery that I have never heard of. Perhaps you haven't either, unless you happen to live in Northern Europe. And that brewery is this one. It's called Volfas Engelman. And Volfas Engelman is apparently the second largest brewery in Lithuania. And I'm not sure if I've had a beer from Lithuania before or not. I should check. And Lithuania is the southernmost of the three Baltic states on the western side of Europe or Russia. And those include Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. And Lithuania was basically under Russian control or Soviet control later until 1990, and now they are, of course, a fully independent nation. Volfas Engelman is in the town of Kaunas, Lithuania, and it's named for the two founders of the brewery. Or basically in 1894, Volfas Brewery bought Engelman's Brewery, and they combined the two names together. In 1997, Pilsner Urquell, the famous Pilsner Urquell in the Czech Republic, bought the 51% of the company, controlling amount, and then 2 years later they sold it to A. Lecoq, which is a brewery in Estonia. And A. Lecoq is owned by Olvi in Finland, which is a very large brewery in Finland. Volfas Engelman makes a variety of products, including beer, cider, energy drinks, soft drinks, and kvass, which is a traditional Baltic drink brewed from rye or even rye bread. And it's very low alcohol beer, often unfiltered. So they make a variety of things, but I think recently they probably made an effort to export themselves. They have labels in Lithuanian and in English. And so on Rate Beer there were 191 beers listed from this brewery, and on Untapped there were 284. Some of them may be duplicates, I don't know. So we're going to look at several beers from them. I'll have a playlist of 4 different beers eventually from this brewery, perhaps more in the future. So shall we get started? All right, and this beer from Volfas Engelman is called their IPA. And this is in their Pasaulio Skoniae series. And apparently in Lithuania this means flavors of the world. Do they have this in English anywhere? I don't know. But the flavors of the world. And so we'll look at, for example, an IPA, an APA, Blanc. And this beer has 191 ratings on Rate Beer. The average is 3.04. Fair to middling. 22 percentile for all beers on Rate Beer, but only 6 percentile for its style, our IPA, which is the most popular style on Rate Beer. Untapped, there were 9,629 ratings when I checked, and the average was a bit higher, 3.31 out of 5. This is a 6% alcohol by volume beer and 38 international bitter units. And you might notice the large size. This is a pint, and it has 568 milliliters, so it's quite large. And this beer, how much did this beer cost? It was 438 yen where I bought it, and that would come out to $2.96 US dollars terms, and euros 2.78. So I think they're kind of capitalizing on the volume here, so it's a bit larger than the typical 550 milliliter tall boy can here in Japan. Okay, so I'm going to give this a go, and let's find out how it is. It has a foil seal on the top to keep the top clean. I think it's a great idea. So sometimes you buy beer that's got dust and dirt, and you gotta wash it off. Okay, so Volfas Engelman. And Okay, here we go. Oh, this is a big can. Have you had any beers from Lithuania? Okay, it is kind of, it appears to be unfiltered, kind of cloudy, dark, medium orange amber color with a frothy finger of foam. It is frothy. Some sticky lace too as well. So the hops in this, the malt is called Pilsner malt and Cara Red. And the hops are Equinox, Chinook, Cascade, and Magnum. So quite a nice variety of hops. Okay. That smells a bit rich and kind of reddish fruit. Something like deep plum or not cherries, but I'm going to say something like prickly pear cactus, if you know what that is. I'm getting some stone fruit. Yeah, and some citrus, for sure. Not a lot of pine, but citrus. Okay. The aroma is certainly more intriguing than the flavor. Okay, it starts out a bit fruity, gets a bit scratchy in mid-palate with the hops. It seems like they didn't skimp on the hops. 38 IBUs, but I think some IPAs might have a little bit more than that. It's pleasant, kind of nondescript. Yeah, light fruitiness, decent hoppiness. I say nondescript, I'm having trouble describing it. Tastes like something between an IPA and a pale ale, maybe a hopped up pale ale. It certainly doesn't go to the lengths that the modern IPA does in the US, say, for example, or even here in Japan. Not unpleasant, it's drinkable. It does kind of fade out after mid-palate and doesn't do much after that. Maybe some very light tracks, but that's about it. This is, I think, acceptable. It's not a standout IPA, but you may want to give it a try. These are available at the Yamaya chain of liquor stores throughout Japan. And if you're in Europe, you may want to try them out too as well. So for a large brewery, maybe you would call it a macro brewery, it's a reasonably decent offering, and you may try it out. Again, it's called Volfas Engelman Pasaulio Skolniai, Flavors of the World, their IPA. So give it a go if you want. Tell me your experience with Volfas Engelman beers if you've had some, and please do subscribe to the channel. Hope you're doing well. We're heading into fall now. It's still quite warm here. It's 30 degrees centigrade in the daytime, and I guess that would be around somewhere around high 80s, something like that. So it's much hotter than it typically for an autumn, early autumn day. Take care. Bye bye.